Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking with Alex Gerchik,
Hello everyone.
a successful person and the safest nice trader according to the first season of the reality show Wall Street Warriors. At the time the show was made, Alexander had only 9 days out of 4 years of trading. So please, Alexander, introduce yourself to our audience and who are you? Who is Alexander Gerchik, and what is it about Alexander Gerchik that can interest investors and traders?
It's extremely good question. Who am I? Who are you? It's always a question. I've been in the industry for this year. It's going to be exactly 20 years that I've been in the industry. I came to the industry in 1996. At that time, actually, I even barely speak English, but somehow I managed. From 96 to 98, I work as a stockbroker, just giving advice to the customer. I worked together with my partner, and then 98, basically, we made a lot of money for our customers, and the company that time was Gateway. We bought the stock at $31, sold the stock at $62, and my partner told me, if we can make money for our customers, why can we make money for ourselves? And in 1998, we went together with him to a day trading firm, WorldCo. At that time, it was just a beginning company. Only in 90s they start to make money in electronic day trading, and we came to the company. Both of us, we passed the Series 7 license. We become a trader. That's absolutely truth. From 2000 2004, in the 4 years in the industry, I had only 9 losing days. In 98, when I passed Series 7 license, we got a firm capital, and we basically was part of the proprietary trading firm. I started to make money after 4 months. First 4 months, I lost about $400. That's the money I brought to the company. I lost them, and end of the 98, I already made money for the year. So the first year in the industry, it was the first profitable year. Since then, I didn't have any losing months, and why basically we should be interesting. I mean, everybody knows that's the person is only interested, but what he does and what we do, we do it very well. We do make money for our customers. We have excellent company, Gerchik Co, and we have excellent traders in the company. And as a trader, we are pretty much know the best what the traders need. So this company that we developed, Gerchik Co, it was the company made by traders for the traders, and I think personally that's in the best interest for our customers and the traders who is trading with us.
Mr. Gerchik, how do you prefer to start your day? Has the way you start your day changed over years?
Honestly, it's an extremely good question. It did not. It did not. In basically 18 years in trading and 20 years in the industry, I pretty much started the same. Before, obviously, I was of course spending much more time than it is right now. I used to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. I used to come at the office at about 5 in the morning, go through about 12 to 1500 stocks every single day, put everything in the papers, go through the charts, see the economic news, put the stocks that I will be trading for the day. So basically it was very simple. Actually, in every businessman, I'm sure the start of the day, it's pretty much the same. You get the morning coffee, you get in the car. At that time I was smoking, so it's a cigarette. And by the time I got to the office, it was between 5 in the morning and 5:15. When nobody bothers you, you just sit down, open the charts, look at the charts, do a technical analysis, because that's the way I trade. I trade only technicals. Isolate the stock. Then about 9 o'clock, right 30 minutes before the market open, go outside, get another coffee, another cigarette, come back at 9:15 and just start trading.
You are a very successful person in a lot of areas. Are there any students or followers that you're proud of?
You'll be surprised, not in all the areas I'm successful. I don't want people basically to paint the picture that they see a person who make money everywhere. That's not so. Obviously, whatever anything has to do with the trading, I am actually very successful there, making money. From 2003, I run one of the largest trading firm in States, Hall Brothers. I was the actual partner of that firm for 6 or 7 years. For 7 years that I run that company, basically I learned a lot what the traders want and what the traders need, that was the part of the issue why we created the Gerchik Company. So the most important thing, I did fail once in a delivery company. You know, we had a trucking company with two partners, and it was a big failure. I mean, we lost almost 40% of the capital. The only one thing, I mean, it was not a lot of money. I never invest something that I don't understand, and I never invest a lot into it. But at that point, you know, we wanted to diversify the money that we were making, so we went basically into a delivery company. In about 6 or 7, probably 8 months, we closed the company, and thank God to trading, because you know I know how to put stops, so I cut my losses short. I lost 40%. You know, it was not a lot of money, and I said thank you very much and said goodbye to it. I'm sure in a long time that I've been teaching from 2006 first time. I do have a lot of people that I teach. I do have a lot of people that follows me, and I do have very successful traders that I teach who do make money. The most important thing why the people come to trading, it's they want to be successful at something which does not require a boss. That's the most important thing. This is the worst thing for me, for example, is to have somebody who tells me what to do and when to do. I do understand my employees very well, and they treat them very well, and you know that as well. Because for me, if you do understand your employee, it's much easier for you to work. I do understand my employees, and I don't like when somebody is bossing me. That's why the trading is basically the best solution for everybody who wants to have no boss, who wants to go on vacation whatever they want. You'll be surprised, I do have a lot of people who, I mean, they don't make a lot of money. They make maybe, you know, a few $1,000s a month, but they do live, let's say, in the cheap countries like Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam. They're very happy. They have 10, 15 trading days a year, I'm sorry, a month. They make this few $1,000s, they live on a $600, $700, and they're extremely happy because, you know, they don't have anybody on them. It's a very big surprise what the people want in their life. You know, before, probably 10 years ago, I was thinking about that everybody has to be a millionaire, so everybody has to drive Mercedes. And my partner, who right now happily live in Vietnam, is extremely happy. He doesn't make a lot of money, he does very few trades a month, you know, makes a few $1,000s, but he's extremely happy. His budget is about $700-800 a month. You understand? He goes to a restaurant and he's happy. So the happiness, actually, trading can bring you happiness. Obviously, you know, if you do make money. If you don't make money, it can be the biggest nightmare.
You do a lot of traveling. Can you tell us what inspires you? What should inspire a trader?
I would say I do like. It's all depend on. I put it this way. It's all depend on. Let's say how well was the 6 months or a quarter. You know, if let's say I'm very tired. If I'm very tired, most of the time I'm probably gonna go and have a passive vacation, somewhere where it's summer. Let's say Florida or maybe some island where basically it's nothing to do and it's very calm. I can lay down in the sun and just lay down for a few days. But basically, you know, I'm not very tired. I go to the active vacations. Let's say I come to one city, I definitely take the car and I go to small different towns. Last year, I remember I had a very excellent trip to Italy. I took the car and every single day I was in a different city, just exploring, you know, small towns, 11th to 15th century, and I like Belgium very much. There's a lot of cities I love. So basically it's all depends. If I'm tired, I go to a vacation which basically has something to do with the sun, and if I'm not tired, and I go to the active vacation like city by city by city.
Do you have a favorite city or place on the map at this time? What makes you like it? What would be the most suitable city for you to live in?
I do. Actually, most of the cities that I like, they begin with the letter B. Barcelona, Bruges, it's in Belgium, Budapest, and Berlin, and Paris. They're one of my favorite cities. How basically I love them? It's a very good question. For me, the most important thing it's aura. What I do, I usually rent a car without navigation. and I just drive around and I see what I like. For example, Vienna, I don't like. I don't know, some people they like Vienna, it's clean, it's a beautiful city. Not mine. Where would I live? I would definitely could live in Budapest. The city, if I would choose the city to live, it definitely would be Europe. Even though I live in the United States, New York is a wonderful city. It's not one of my favorite cities. But I definitely would live in Europe, and it's definitely not going to be a small town. Or if it will be a small town, it's definitely should be not far away from a big town. Somewhere around Paris or around Budapest, I would definitely live. And I love Europe, and as I said, that's my favorite cities. The most important thing is how I feel. For example, if I choose a vacation, it's got to be the city that I love. I can go to the same cities all over and over again. A lot of people, I'm basically an old-fashioned guy. You know, I listen to the same music for 30 years. And most important thing, it's to just feel good about it. You come and it's people, and you walk in a restaurant, you talk to the same people. In every city I have my favorite restaurants, my favorite food. For example, Bruges is a fantastic city which was built in the 11th century. It's they call it North Venice. It's it's by far much better than the Venice. Very small city. It's about 100 kilometers from Brussels, but this is a fantastic city. I mean, the city is so clean. You can literally on a main square eat it from the floor. I mean, it's a fantastic city. I really love it, and I can go there over and over again. But what I like the most is to go to every city different day. So what I do, I open the map, I take the car, I see the distance should be no more than, let's say, 200 kilometers, 2.5, 3 hours drive, and let's say I take let's say, coast of Italy or France, and I go from one city to another. I like Provence in France, you know, I like to go there, see the old houses, 15th, 16th century. I would say probably, you know, I would definitely prefer old city to the new one. So probably in the previous life, I was towards somewhere to the old city than to the new one. I mean, some cities like Hong Kong or New York, I cannot really say I love them. But some old cities, I do like it. So probably, you know, in the previous life, I was living somewhere in Europe in the 16th or 17th century. Hopefully I didn't get burned on fire or something, but I do love it.
Are you an emotional person? If you are, what helps you control emotions during work?
I would say I can be a fire, so I am extremely emotional. It all began when I basically become a day trader. I figured out one thing, that I cannot live through every single trade in my life. That's the worst part. In 2001, I had at one point 373 positions at the same time. At those times it was no basket trading, and everything what I did, it was manuals. So in that day I traded probably over 1,000 trades. And I figured out one thing. If basically I would live through every single trade, I'll be dead in a very short period of time. And I just started to kill my emotions in trading. So to figure it out in real life, I'm extremely, I would say extremely emotional. But in trading, I'm not. When I trade, I know it's math out there. Let's say I have 60% of a positive trades, and that's how I stick with it. And sometimes, let's say if it's a bad market, it can go down to 50. If it's in a good market, it can go all the way up to 80% of a profitable trades. But I know math is out there. I'm still going to make money because for so many years, that's the problem in the trading industry. The average life of a day trader, I mean successful trader, between 5 to 10 years. I mean, it takes a few years to learn, then a few years to make money. And if you survive for about 10 years, then probably you're going to be survived. But most of the time, I didn't see. I mean, from our old company, 1,000 traders went through. 1,000 of traders. Right now, maybe 30, 40 at the most. And for one simple reason. The emotions would kill you. And everybody knows that. And most of the time, bad emotions would definitely destroy you, and a good emotion. So what I'm trying to do, I try to separate a work life from a real life. In real life, I'm a perfect emotion guy. And in trading, I control my emotions totally. For example, a lot of people, they're so upset, they come to a restaurant, they had coffee served in a different way. Instead of one scoop of sugar, they put two on, or instead of two, they put one, and they get nervous and they get pissed off. I never pay attention to such a small details. I go to a restaurant, and if I wasn't served that dish in a proper way, I wouldn't pay attention. So trading definitely helps you basically to learn how to control emotions. And if people ask me, what would you suggest to learn a lot of different stuff? I said, if you have 1 year of your life, devote to trading. And the most amazing part? In 1 month, you're gonna know in trading about yourself more than you're ever gonna know about your life. That's the most amazing part. You're gonna see that you're greedy, you're emotional, you're gonna have control on emotions and everything. Most of the time, I do have sometimes situation where I wanna take the baseball bat and just smack somebody. I don't do that. So is a lot of people. That's called control. And if you can put this control into a trading, you have a chance. So in real life, I'm a very emotional, but in trading, I'm a machine. Just execute your orders. That's it. When I speak with somebody, everybody knows I'm always smiling with the hands. When I sit and trade, I just like this. That's it.
Does your trading experience help you in your everyday life?
100%. And then the previous question that you asked about be successful in every different business, it does help you everything. You know how to control your losses, how to control the emotions. You understand it's very hard to work with the people. And I'm a boss and I have employees, and I never raise my voice. Trading definitely helps me a lot, definitely. And I know how to control it in every possible way. And there's a situation that's, I can raise my voice, say something, but most of the time I'm in control of my emotions.
Well-known day trader, but could you imagine yourself as a scalper, for instance? Why yes or why no?
I started as a day trader because it was a day trading company. Scalper, what's the difference between scalper and a day trader? Just a scalper does many more trades than just a regular day trader. Obviously, I'm sure I could have been a scalper if it would be a scalping company, because there's a lot of companies which had only traders which was scalpers. So obviously, according basically for speed that I trade, I could have been a scalper. The only problems the scalper has, they don't have a very long life. In 2 to 3 years, scalper is really burning out because of the number of trades they do. They have to be extremely fast. They gotta get out from the position very fast. They have very strict rules. For example, if I'm diversified, the scalper cannot have, let's say, a few positions. He trades one stock at the same time. I wouldn't want to be a scalper, for sure. But if I need to, I can be anyone, even a farmer.
Let's talk about your company now. In 2015, Gerchik Co company entered the market to provide Forex broker services. What was the main reason why you decided to create the company?
The one remark I wanted to make, it's not my company, it's our company. It's a trio of our partners, and we're all equal partners. It's me, Ivan, and Andrei. And basically, it's always a story behind something. I have a huge experience of running a trading company for many years. I basically first ran my first group from 2000 to 2003, and then from 2003 to 2010 I ran one of the biggest day trading firms in state. So I do have an experience. In 2014, me and Ivan, we wanted to basically present one German company, one German Forex broker, basically very well known in former Soviet Union. So me and Ivan, we went to Germany to meet with them. We signed an agreement. We start to work together. But in about 3 months or 4 months, they said that traffic that we provide is too big and they cannot handle it. So Ivan told me, why don't we have our own company? That's how the Gerchik company began. The reason why we call the company with the name, I had a very strong name in the industry. A lot of people knows me, not only in Russia, overseas as well, thanks to Wall Street Warriors. And we were thinking about how to name the company. There's a bunch of company, best Forex, good Forex, this Forex, that Forex. We figured out one thing. What was the one issue that the person is worried about? And it's name. I do have a name, so that's why we decided to name the company in my name, so that people know that I am taking the full responsibility with my name being in the front page of the company. That's how the Gerchik company began. The most amazing part about us, I think it's a very strong thing, that all of us are traders, and we know about trading everything. I have a huge experience, Ivan has a huge experience, Andrei has a huge experience in the financial and banking industry. So we really know, I can really say pretty much everything. I'm not afraid of that word, everything, because most of the time nobody can know everything. But in our case, if we combine us together, we have a huge experience, almost 50 years of experience in the financial industry. So I think personally that we have a very strong background, and we are creating the company from traders to traders. So it's a company by traders, and special was designed for traders. The most amazing part is when you have a personal. We have let's say minimum of $1,000 investment, and a person, a trader, come to the company, trade for a few months, and then add another $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. That's the most amazing part. When they're saying how the company is successful, when the traders that's in the company bring more capital, it means they like everything. So the most amazing part is a lot of professionals. They start with a very small amount of money because they want to test the water. I mean, nobody, you don't jump into the water when you just see it. Maybe it's extremely cold or extremely hot. So you test the water. And a lot of people, professionals, they basically start at a very small level, $1,000, and then when they see everything is fine. Because most important thing, let's say for example, when the news are coming, everybody knows there's a lot of companies which has problems with spreads. And the most amazing part, when last week it was the Federal Reserve meeting, and everything works perfectly. The spreads are not getting wider, everything is fine, the quotes are so fast, and if everybody arrived, they said, wow, we're so grateful. That's the most amazing part. The company is we're building, it's in a totally professional way. I mean, everything is for the traders. And a lot of times, I even sometimes come to the call center and just sometimes answer my own phone. The most amazing part, why we call the company my name and why everybody knows who's the partners, people know who they're dealing with. These days, the most important thing, it's not how much you know, it's who you know. And the people know who is the president, who is the CEO, who is the financial director, who is the CFO. They know everybody. We even, about 6 months ago, did the video with our tech department. So the people know who is our tech guys, where their background, where they're from. They know everything. The company is so open, you understand? We're doing the same way. Is my favorite hero is Richard Branson. You understand, the president of the Virgin Atlantic. So the most amazing part is the company is open. People know who we are. I think personally, it's the best what we can do. You understand, when you come to a restaurant and the kitchen is open and you see chef, and if the chef is big, the food is good. Because if the chef try his own food, then it's fine. Every time I see a big chef, I'm not afraid of the word fat. Because I was fat myself. I was 250 pounds. I was 118 kilo. I know, because I like to eat. And when I see a big fat chef and the kitchen is open and he cooks and he try, I know it's a good restaurant. So we want to be like that. Open restaurant with an open kitchen with a big fat shaft that everybody knows. Who is the boss? Who's running the company? And you know what? A lot of times the ladies from our call center, they forwarding us email, and me and Ivan were answering the emails ourselves. And when the trader called and said, listen, there was a problem or something like this, we basically addressed ourselves. We take it personally. That's the most amazing part. We do take it very personal. People know who we are. We're not just another name in the Forex industry. We're trying basically to be as open as possible.
Your company has already received many awards. Can you tell us if
Not that many. Not that many. We got only 3 awards. I mean, for a time being a very short period of time, 3 awards basically it's enough. We had 1 award in Dubai in an international conference, and 2 awards in Russia. Basically, if for the first one in Dubai we went to the conference, I was a speaker. It was only 7 speakers, and a lot of people very well known in the industries, a lot of different traders, a lot of different speakers. You know, it was very, very good to be a speaker there at the company. So the most amazing part, that's we got award as the fastest growing company. In the future, we want to get award, let's say, for being the best service company, for the best spreads in the industry, for best of everything. So for now, 3 awards is great. But you know what's the most amazing part? That's in a conference in Dubai. We have very small booth, you know, because we're new, we're a small company, and I was a speaker. We brought a few different products which basically not exist in the industry. The most amazing part is the CEO of one of the biggest Forex company in Europe, a very strong name, came over to us, stayed by our booth like 45 minutes, and he was amazed of the products that we have. That's the most amazing part. When you sit in and you have like a big guy from Mercedes-Benz, for example, comes to your little Indian car and saying, "Oh my God, you have such a big features in a car that's we're so amazed." And when we were staying there, I said, "What do you like about it?" He said, "I like this, I like that." And I think personally, this is much better than any awards. It's a recognition of your competitors. I mean, we're competitors, obviously. And when the competition tells you you're good, I think is the best award.
Your company already has a certain number of representative offices. Can you tell us a little bit about the offices that are already in operation? And,
Absolutely.
Do you plan to open any new representative offices?
Absolutely. We basically want to be everywhere. And why? Let's put it this way. What's the reason to have a representation office in different cities? You know, everybody can say you can have a big city. This is the most important part to give a service. You'll be surprised. I'm a trader myself, and the trader, he likes to be make sure that somebody is really take care of him. So people, when let's say you have a office, let's say in Paris, a person who lives in Paris or around Paris, he wants to come to Paris. When he has a question, sit down with the representation office and ask the questions. That was the only reason why we have offices all over. In order basically to open the office, you have to have some knowledge. I don't want to really spend a lot of time for that. It's very simple. You come to our website, you press the button, representation offices, and you write the mail, and me or Ivan, and most of the time both of us, will get in touch with you physically, by phone or by Skype or any kind of communication, and we'll tell you exactly what we're looking for. Basically, it's we're not asking for a lot. Most important thing, it's a knowledge and service. Because for you to understand, when people open an office in a city, it's our face. And if we don't know those people, they can basically be a very big harm for us. Because, you know, if I take some guy who wants to make money, he can tell the person anything, but it's going to be my responsibility because the company is mine. And I hired that person. So basically everything is done at a personal level. Every of our representative offices we know personally, each and every single guy. Most of the time, like every 3 months, we have a conference and everybody comes to the same city, all of us. We sit down on the big table. Now there's a lot of people. There's almost 30 people right now. Everybody sit down and everybody can speak. For example, what we see first, why one office done a lot and another office didn't do good. And another say, okay, we did commercial, we did blog, we did Facebook, advertise, blah, blah, blah. And we sit down and say, okay, works and this does not work. And the people know each other. And we have nothing to worry about, because the beautiful part about our representative offices, everybody has a same level. Everybody. So let's say it's the same number for everyone. It's not like this office is big, they get this portion, and everybody get that portion. Everybody has the same portion of profit, and everybody knows. And it's nothing to talk about. If this office made $10,000 and another office made $70,000, that office did something good, and this office didn't do something good. So I think personally that we do have offer for the people a very good level of service. That's why the people come to us.
Can you tell us a few words about the TIMA account? What type of account it is, and what features does it offer?
Basically, we didn't want to use anybody's name. What is the TIMA? Everybody knows most of the time PAM accounts. PAM account basically is where investor put in the money and the traders are trading that money. We went our own way. What's the TIMA stands for? TIMA stands for Trusted Investment Management Account. What does it mean? It means in that account you can have agreement between you and the trader by the risk management. For example, you have a certain risk and you tell the trader you want certain amount of risk, no more than that, and that's it. So let's say if something goes wrong and a trader lose money, he cannot lose more than I had an agreement. Let's say if he put in the agreement 10%, he's going to lose 10% and then he's going to stop trading. So the beautiful part is a diversification, because if the trader makes money, one trader can cover 6 or 7 losing traders, because you know they fixed losses. The most important thing why I figure it out and I learn in the industry, if the losses are controllable, you're going to make money. If you cannot control your losses, of course not.
Your company has a product called Risk Manager. What is it, and what advantages does it have?
When I came to the industry, to clarify it, in 1996, but as I said, the first few years I worked as a stockbroker, and then in 98 I went into the trading industry, just a pure trading. When we came in, my boss told me just one thing. The only one thing I can control is how much can you lose. I cannot control how much you're going to make, because you can make millions, trillions, gazillions, bazillions, but the only one thing I care is if something goes wrong, how much I'm going to lose. So from day one, as a trader, I learned one thing for a fact. It's not how much you make. If on a bad day, what can you lose? We figured out one thing. Once we came basically and create our own company, I said right away, we have to offer the people risk manager. If something goes wrong, the person has to have tomorrow. That's the issue. Because if the trader doesn't have tomorrow, he's not going to have a future. The risk manager allows you to put any risk parameters, risk per trade, risk per day, risk per week, anything. This way, for example, you have 3 losing trades, you lost today, you said enough is enough, goodbye. My day is gone, I'm going to come tomorrow. But when the trader doesn't have a risk manager, he has emotion, and emotions take over. Oh my God, I can make my money back. I lost 30%, I want to make more. Same risk management is attached to the TIMA account as well. For example, if the agreement between investor and the trader is no more than 30% of a stop loss, that's it.
Do you have your own vision about the future of the financial markets and what major changes could take place?
I don't think it's going to be any changes. The market has been exist for over 100 years. Basically, the only thing which is changing is the technology. Technology, execution, but overall, when they start to come up with the price and then the charts, nothing changed. I don't think something is going to change in the industry that quick. I mean, these days, you don't even have to type the order. You just go on chart, you press the button, and you just execute all orders. So I personally believe that's nothing is going to change. As far as the financial markets, we have ups and downs. when in 1929 the first market crash, people thought that nobody's going to survive. People used to jump from the window, sell cars, couldn't afford food. It passed by in 1931. Basically, in 2 years, everything came back. In 2008, when the market collapsed almost 70%, people was thinking about that's it. This is a dead end. Where we're going? And in 2 years, some stocks, quadruple, went up 4, 5, 600%. So the personal think this is just what's bad today, definitely not going to be a bad tomorrow. And you know what the beautiful part is? People have a tendency to forget bad stuff. So whatever becomes bad today, it's probably in a week or 2 weeks or in 2 years, it's not going to be bad. So I think the market exists for so many years, and it probably will exist in the future as well.
Mr. Gerchik, these days, most of the traders' work on the Forex market is automated. Do you think this progress is a positive thing?
It's basically it's hard. You'll be surprised. It's hard to say because a lot of people made a lot of money before when the everything was not automated. You understand? I mean, just to take as example, it was a very big investor, Nicholas Darvas. He came up with a strategy where he was buying breakouts. He didn't have anything except the newspapers. In 60s, he made over $2 million. So today it's about $200-300 million. He was just going on a trip. He was a professional dancer from Hungary. Opened the newspaper, and every time the stock hit a new year high, he was just buying without even seeing it. No charts, nothing. And he made a lot of money. So it's hard to say, probably with a huge technologies, trading, it's not becoming easy. But accessible trading, it definitely becomes easier. Absolutely.
You have a huge experience as both a trader and a fund manager. What could you advise traders in terms of, how to be successful on the financial markets?
What I figured out that every trader at one point basically want to be either a hedge fund manager or just a money manager. And they should understand one thing. For example, to trade 1 million, there's the one deal, and to trade, let's say, 10 million or 20 million or 100 million, it's a completely different deal. So when the people basically wanted to trade more or trade a fund or basically run fund, they have to understand one thing. First of all, they have to learn how to trade size. And on the second of all, they have to understand that the risk is much greater because the expenses are huge. A lot of times people go in a big business, they don't know what's going on. So before, I would advise everybody, before you go with your strategy and try to trade big money, just understand what it's all about.
Is it true that many traders these days approach trading as a game, as a beginner traders? And do you think this attitude is acceptable?
Yeah, I definitely disagree with you because most of the people that do understand that trading is not a game, but they do treat trading as a game. So when they come, if you ask any trader in the beginning, is trading is a casino? Everybody's going to say no. It's the educated guess or calculated guess. But overall, when they start to trade, that's how they trade. Like it's a game. It's not definitely a game in industry. Your odds is basically somebody can say bigger, somebody can say not bigger. But I would say it's definitely not a casino. It has rules. If you follow rules, you'll make money. In casino as well, there's rules. For example, if you have a blackjack, they have a lot of books. I read it. How many people on the table? What's the bets? Who is the last hand? So, I tell you the truth, I play in casino maybe 4 or 5 times. I never lost, not even once. Because I play in casino the way I trade. So I only, let's say, double, only with profit. And every time I made profit, I put it in a separate bet. I was not like, martingale, I'm losing and I'm having more and more and more. This way you're losing much more. Because if that, let's say, euro dollar does not come back, you're going to have a big problem because, it can go down all the way. A lot of traders, buying long euro when the euro went down from 138 to 105. They was just buying, and then losing all the money. So it's 100% not a casino. It's 100% has its own rules, and 100% you can really make money if you follow those rules.
Mr. Gerchik, what is the most important element that traders should take into account when they build trading strategies of their own?
You'll also be surprised that there's a lot of proofs in trading that is, let's say, some mathematicians, they're saying you don't have to have a good entrance point, you just have to have a good exit point. Some say you don't have to have a good exit point, you just have to have a good entrance point. Some say if you have a good risk management or money management, you'll make money. I agree upon one thing. If you have a risk management, money management, and a strategy, and you follow it, every strategy pretty much can make money. 100%. Why the strategies don't work? Because people are killing it. One day the person takes profit 3 to 1, another day he takes 5 to 1, another day 6 to 1. That's basically a biggest problem. But overall, if the person is following rules, any strategy can work. Any strategy. You gotta adjust it because market changes a lot. But if you adjust, you shouldn't have a problem.
Mr. Gerchik, what can you tell about a trading algorithm? You know, does every trader has to have an algorithm?
A must.
Okay.
A must. Especially everybody who lives overseas, and this is our English-speaking audience. They know there's in every company, it's a SOP, standard operating procedure, and everybody knows. Doesn't matter what you do. You're a bus driver, you're a truck driver, you work in a factory. I don't know. No matter what you do, you have a standard operating procedure. This piece of paper, usually it's very plain with a set of rules. It gives you all the advantages not to do a crazy stuff. So the same as the trader. You always, at every single level, you have to know what to do. You have the piece of paper, and a piece of paper, it's a set of rules, and you just go one by one by one by one. Let's say for a bus driver, you have a set of rules. So no matter what you do, you have a set of rules. Trader must have an algorithm. Without it, I think personally, if the trader doesn't have an algorithm in the beginning, he's going to create a lot of problems. The beautiful part is, in our website, you can have a Lego of algorithm. What does it mean? You don't even have to write your own algorithm. It's very simple. You put your own set of rules, and our system creates an algorithm for you. So that's a beautiful part. You'll come to the gerchikco.com. You go to the site of the algorithm. You put your own set of rules. At the end of it, you get in the full algorithm, fully functional.
I know you have kept a trader's diary. Do you often go back and reread it? And do you think every trader should keep a diary?
In the beginning, everybody should have one. And I used to have it. It used to be split in two different ways. The first way, my emotions. And my emotions. What happened to me? Why did I do that trade? Why have I done other trade? I used to write it everything. And the second one, it was just about the stock. Let's say why I bought this stock and why I sold this stock. Where did I put a stop? And I always was reading. The most important part, it was the emotional part. When you open it and you start to see, like today I was angry in the morning, you know, I was going to work and I had a problem, and you write it down. And you can see, you can put a parallel. Every time you have problem emotional, you're losing money. So I would advise everyone in the begin, at least in the beginning, to have a diary. After that, you become a professional. You don't have to look at the papers, but it helps. It helps. Anybody who worked for me, either my traders or anyone else, I force them to have a diary, for sure.
What size of deposit should the beginner traders start with when they start trading?
As less as possible. The problem is, no matter what you do and no matter how you begin, you're always going to lose money in the beginning. It's either going to be a technical problem or it's going to be another problem, but you're still going to have problems. So the most important thing is not to have a problem, or at least if you have a problem in the beginning, they're not going to cost you a lot. So I would advise everyone. I mean, I could have said, because I'm owner of a company, I could have said, you know, you have to have a large deposit and everything, but the problem is, you're still going to lose. So you got to start small and just grow your deposit while you go on.
What would be the best time frames for trading Forex, in your opinion?
Anything but no 1 minutes. Because a lot of times people who trade in 1 minute do too many trades. And a person who trades should understand one thing. If you trade in 5 minutes or 15 minutes charts, you do X amount of trades. Every time basically you go to the higher time frame, the amount of trades goes down. So if you're too emotional, you probably need to trade less, so you go in the higher time frames. And if you're not emotional, you're a very disciplined trader, you should go in the small time frame.
Could you give a few pieces of advice to beginner traders?
The most important thing, it's an algorithm. It's a diary. Every single trade that you do, it's got to be described. You have to understand for yourself, why have you done that trade. Start very small, right? Every single trade. Don't rush. And the bad days, don't trade. Because some days, you just shouldn't be trading. You just say, you know, I'm sitting home. And the most important thing is analyze. Because self-study is a 90% of the success in trading. Every single trade. Why have you done? What's the plus? What's the minus? And everything else.
Mr. Gerchik, there's a wide variety of market analysis instruments on the market these days, and some of them are not just someone else's work, but are part of the market. I think that one of those instruments is volume. I think it's one of the most important instruments because it allows for seeing the market from the inside. What can you tell us about volume?
No, you're absolutely right, because the volume is something that the chart cannot lie. Chart cannot lie about two things. It's a price and volume. A lot of times the price goes without the volume, and usually at those points it's nothing you can do. These days there's a lot of different varieties, I mean the products which do, let's say, horizontal volumes, where you can see if at a certain price, not at a certain day, just let's say we'll go back. There is a horizontal volume and a vertical volume. On the vertical volume, pretty much you can only see a day or instrument and what value was in that particular day. When you see a horizontal value, you can see the value which was done at a certain price, which is very important. Let's say if you trade levels, you take a level, and at that particular level you look for the volume. So if you see a volume at that level, you can definitely build a position around much bigger, because volume always goes to the price. So I think personally it's a fantastic tool. It's a very important tool for everyone. And if the person have a chance to have a program, let's say with a horizontal volume, great.
Mr. Gerchik, thank you very much for an interesting interview, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. I hope whatever Pavel will have questions, he will definitely help our audience. And we do have a lot of tools in our company, and I hope it's going to help everyone. Thank you very much.